Yo, yo.
Yo, yo,
Yes, I. That's what I want.
what's going on? What's going on?
Just watching all the latest rumors and the latest things. Still quiet.
Hmm.
Still quiet.
Still quiet. But we just got to shout out the fans tonight. Welcome to another night of your boys in the islands, the Island Boy Football Talk.
And not those white island boys, but the black island boys.
Definitely. Don't get confused with the nuisances. We talk real facts and real football. They just coons. All right, we got Jizzle in the building from the Philadelphia Eagles side. Simon in the building from the 49ers side. And Street in the building from the Carolina Panthers side. Guys, how we feeling tonight?
Feeling good so far. I mean, you're not necessarily feel with it, but what to expect in this coming off season and free agency. Looking forward to see what's gonna happen. And the draft as well.
Mm, any any news of your team since we last came on?
Just a little Russell Wilson talk, that's it.
That's it.
Again.
I ain't got nothing going on. Quiet. Only thing is Garoppolo trade rumors. Washington. I keep hearing Washington names. So, but again, big rumors.
They got a rumor out um saying that Cam is intrigued about going to Philadelphia.
With what? To do what?
I don't know, but
No. If I
to,
don't
to,
think
to be
if he
your
couldn't
veteran. To be
if
your
he
veteran,
couldn't
partner. Your
if he couldn't
veteran.
make it if he couldn't make it work in New England, he couldn't make it work in Carolina. It ain't gonna happen in Philadelphia. It ain't gonna happen.
so it's just a rumor.
I think
One of your guys, Jizzle, he got a show. He got same show and thing. He played defensive tackle for you guys. I can't remember his name.
who defensive end, we talking about Chris Lang.
No, not Chris Lamb. But he
Or
does
you
a
talking about
show.
left tackle?
I can't remember the name. I ain't gonna
Trey
remember his stuff.
Thomas?
No, see none of them that I know. The older head, but he said,
I mean Mike Golick.
no, I know those guys. It's another
Oh.
name that I don't know. But he said, there's a rumor that Cam would like to go to the Eagles. But we'll have to see. It's like I say, it's a rumor.
I think right now Cam would be below average quarterback. He would be better than Jill. He would be an upgrade from Jill Hurts. I wouldn't take Cam.
Uh, like I say, right now it's just the rumors happening. Today's the first day you could apply the franchise tag, and then you got until the 8th of March. But we all know no one don't get slapped with a franchise tag until that last week, the first week in March. So
Well, I see our Patriots buddy post J.C. Jackson look like he kind of upset that he ain't get a deal yet.
mhm.
And then Aaron Rodgers out there with his cryptic messages all day long. But I don't know. It's like, I would like Aaron Rodgers to be on my team, but if he come with all this freaking drama, right? I ain't
He
want
just
that.
want to get out of Green Bay.
I ain't want to fucking
I think he just want to get out of Green Bay.
I ain't want to let nonsense. I ain't want that nonsense on my team.
He probably just want to get out of Green Bay. I think that's what it is.
This morning he messaged, had everybody kind of shake up a little bit, and then a little while later, or a little while ago, he posted another message. The game that he had missed against Kansas City, he usually stand up between Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams,
Right.
and he wasn't there because he missed the game. They left the spot open for him, so he posted. Anybody can take that anyway, it's like man missing, but then he come back and say, "Oh, he was just honoring the picture." Why would you choose to honor the picture now? It's like
He trying to start some riffraff
Yeah.
with the organization.
again. That's why Bakatari posted that post today. I think it's like, here we go again. Turned out to be a damn drama queen.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they've been quiet. I don't know when things gonna start to pop off, but I think when they start to pop off, they're gonna pop. You know, it's like that. That's like everybody waiting for that first man to make a move. So we'll see how that go.
Well, we'll get on into the business of it tonight. We're gonna preview three teams tonight. Each of us had three teams that we would take over. We got the Atlanta Falcons, the Arizona Cardinals, and
The
the
Baltimore
Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens. So we're gonna be previewing three of those teams tonight. Give our fans, hopefully, whoever watches the show, that's one of their teams, and we could give them some insight into their teams and see what can happen. Or they might tell us to go and fuck off because we don't know nothing about them teams. Either way, they're getting some type of insight. They may not like the insight, but they're gonna
Some
get the
information.
insight. Something we say gotta be right. Cause as far as I know, Arizona stink up the joint in the playoffs. Atlanta, that's a dead cause, and Baltimore usually
Had a
underperform.
exactly disappointing season.
So what we saying can't be wrong. Can't be wrong. All right. So who want to take it over first?
I don't
I'll
know.
go first with the Baltimore Ravens.
All right.
The
All right,
hero of the
Jesus,
street.
you take it over.
As for the Ravens, I think they had a below average season, starting off ending the season at 8-9 and last in the division. Even though they had injuries with what's his name? Dobbins was out. Edwards was also injured.
All the running backs are one day.
All
Yeah,
the
I think
running
all
backs
the
were
start
hurt.
running backs were out as well.
Mhm.
But then again, in the offseason, they still didn't give. I mean, Sammy Watkins is not a solid number one. You know what I mean? He's not really a solid number one receiver. He's probably a good number two and a decent number three, but he's not a solid starting number one wide receiver that could actually give you 90 to 1,000, 90 to 100 catches and maybe 1,200 yards receiving and maybe 6 touchdowns or something like that. He can't do that. He was
Mhm.
never that type of receiver. I think they failed to give Lamar Jackson a solid starting receiver. What's his name? Marquise Brown is not a starting receiver. You know what I mean? So in Lamar Jackson was able to do with what he had, and also Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, was able to do what they had on offense, but that wasn't going to be enough for them to actually compete in that division. Because actually, you saw that what you call it, the Bengals took another step with Joe Burrow and those pass catchers and Joe Mixon and that coach. They took another step. So right now, and even with what you call it, the Bronx, who don't have that good of a quarterback, but still they got a solid team, and if and a solid defense, and if you don't have an offense to take over that defense and to compete with the Bengals, you don't get nowhere. As much as explosive Lamar Jackson is, he won't be able to do by himself.
And that was proven.
Right, exactly. And at some point he will have to learn to throw from the pocket too at times. Because now you see he start to get injured now, eh? It's because hits will start to pile up. So he gonna have to improve as a pocket passer this off season. He's great at running, he's great at running out of the pocket and seeing the open field and stuff like that. But now he's gonna have to learn how to throw from the pocket. He's getting there. He has a cannon for an arm, but now he's gonna have to learn how to throw from the pocket. That's how you win games.
Mhm.
I think they got a couple free agents coming up. Um, what's his name? Calais Campbell. He's about what, 34?
Got me about 34.
Yeah,
So yeah.
34. Yeah. At one point, he was the highest graded defensive player, I think, 2 years ago. But now he's 35 now. You know what I mean? And his sack progression has been dropping year after year. So I think there's about 10-year cut ties with him.
Mhm.
I think you keep Calais Campbell at 35, making 36 years. He's on the decline right now. So I think they should get rid of him. Um, the center, Bradley Bozeman, he's an unrestricted free agent as well. He had some good years with him. If you're not looking for a center in a draft, your quarterback in the draft, you should sign him back and stick with him. Another fella who was injured, who's an unrestricted free agent, is the fullback Patrick Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another reason why the running game wasn't doing well, even though they didn't have what's his name, Edwards and the other guy, because they do a lot of that strong eye formation and stuff like that with Greg Movement. You know, Greg Movement is a type of run the ball, zone read, and stuff like that. So I think they should bring him back. Um, Cornerback Anthony Everett, he's another unrestricted free agent. Played decent with I think the last Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey in the season 2 as well on defense.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big loss on defense to losing those two. Because Marlon Humphrey, he's a solid all-pro corner. You lose your defense, that's it for your defense. Same as Marcus Peters. He isn't as young as Troy, but he's still a solid decent corner. So,
But he's
but
old now too, right?
he's older, yeah.
Upper 30s.
Right. Yeah, he over 30. So Anthony Everett was able to step in and he played decent. Played fairly well at the number one, playing the number one cornerback position, but still, so they should send him back. They Sean Elliott at safety, not a solid safety. He's not solid safety because right now, sources were saying that the Ravens right now need to look in the draft for a safety. That's one of their strong suits. That's one of the draft needs is a safety. So they're gonna have to figure that out. And whether they're gonna stick with that same dude or they're gonna bring him. They're gonna draft a safety. Another guy who's old up in age is the linebacker, the outside linebacker, Justin Houston. He's another unrestricted free agent. Mm-hmm. He again is probably in his mid to late 30s.
Sort of forever wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, get rid of him now. Get rid of him. Start fresh, start young. Build that defense. Put some young blood in that defense. Again, Sammy Watkins, he's another unrestricted free agent. Like I said before, he's not your number one. What they should do is try to see if you can get, if it's possible, get Devontae Adams. Maybe if you got the money, see if you get Allen Robinson, a possession receiver to help Lamar Jackson to pair with what's his name, Hollywood Brown.
You get that one? Huh? They invested in a wide receiver, but he just can't stay on the field.
Who Sammy Watkins?
Remember they drafted Rashad Bateman in the
first Rashad Bateman, yeah.
But he was just never able to get footing because he was injured for a foot injury for most of the season. They brought him in. He was selected, I think, at the end of the first round.
Right.
So they brought him in with the incentive that he, Hollywood Brown, and Sammy Watkins can combine to be a nice three-headed monster with what's the tight end name again?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Yeah. So four of them can spread the ball around. But like you see, that team is a perfect example of we ain't taking injuries as an excuse because Marcus Peters went down, and Marlon Humphrey.
Exactly.
You lose two. Both of them were in the Pro Bowl last year. Peters graded out I think a top. Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey graded out top 15 last year. You take away two shutdown corners that like to play man to man. Both of them like to play man to man. You take them out. You got just everything. Those guys ain't no first. They ain't no number one corners. They should be number 3 or 4 corners.
Right.
You got safeties that just average safeties. The linebacking core isn't as strong as before.
Patrick Queen is a good player.
Patrick Queen is okay, yeah.
Right.
And then, like you said, Justin Houston, he's an older head now. So they drafted a guy called Owe, outside linebacker. He's very good.
Right.
They got that first round pick from Kansas City by trading Orlando Brown.
Mhm.
So he's a good foundational piece. Let's hope Rashad Bateman could catch himself. But that's a team that got devastated in because but from time Dobbins went down, they
Yeah,
invested
Dabbins went
everything in
down.
saying
Then
Dobbins
after
was the workhorse. Dobbins
Gus
was
Edwards went
in
down too.
right. From
Yeah,
time Dobbins went down, they said, okay, we still got Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards could do it.
yeah.
Bam. Gus Edwards goes down too. Now you trade away Orlando Brown and you say Ronnie Stanley is our centerpiece. Bam, Ronnie Stanley out for the season. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you ain't had your foundation on the left tackle. You had to use Villanueva, who came from Pittsburgh, who was getting
Pittsburgh.
beat
Yeah.
a lot. The line was not as strong as before. You don't have your running backs. Latavius Murray is a good complementary piece, but he ain't gonna do nothing for you. They went for Latavius Murray. They went for Le'Veon Bell. They
Le'Veon
went for
Bell. Yeah.
Devontae
Devontae
Freeman.
Freeman. Yeah.
Those guys ain't gonna do much for you as in
Mm-hmm.
like Dobbins and those guys. So you take that away when Parsons don't fear the run. Lamar Jackson can't use his feet as much.
Right.
You force him to pass, and he's not a stand in the pocket type
Pocket
passer.
passer. Exactly.
So you take away the greatest strength and the strength, and you let them play through their weakness, and we can see why Parsons feel that Lamar needs to develop more in the passing game. But that's a team that will tell you we don't care that we got injured. We should have done something still.
True.
Because look what happened. The defensive coordinator who's been there for so long, Wink Martindale, he got fired. And he could easily say, well, everybody on the defense were injured. I had nobody to play with. But he accepted and he just they mutually agreed to part ways. So that team was devastated with injuries, but that division don't help either.
Yeah, that division
Like
is
you
tough.
say,
It's a strong
you
division.
got the Bengals, you got the Steelers, you got the
And you got the
Browns, and
Browns.
you got the Ravens. Any little hiccup, and that's it. And the crazy thing about it is looking at this here, total offense, Baltimore was ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 6 in total offense. It was still a top 10 offense.
And they still got a lot of players. They still got a lot of players around. Mark Andrews was
Mm-hmm.
beasting. Mark Andrews beast for a couple of games there with no Lamar
Looking
Jackson.
at passing yards per game, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th in passing yards per game. Rushing yards per game, they were third. And points per game, they were ooh, in the bottom half. They were like well, maybe in the middle of that 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, right
In the middle. Eh?
in the middle for points per game. So they still were doing stuff
I
on
think
offense.
they were averaging 22.8 points a game.
Well, now if I go
Ain't
to
gonna
the
be enough to
defense
win it. Eh?
now, defensive total defense yards a game, they were ranking. Hmm, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom. That's what 20
Oh,
like
yeah.
20 25th
25th.
25th in total defense. Um, defensive passing yards a game. You're gonna have to be ranked low because the whole secondary,
The whole
my point
secondary was
exactly.
out, so probably.
Baltimore was
Bottom.
last in defensive passing yards
Yeah,
a game.
you lose them two corners, that's it.
Last,
And them safeties
exactly.
can't do it.
Defensive rushing yards a game. They were still first. They were actually first in defensive rushing yards, so the front was good.
Yeah, the front
It's
was
just
playing good.
the back end couldn't hold up. So it's a tale of two. It's like they could have been good if everyone stayed healthy, but this year showed you that you need good depth. I think their scheme and everything, they rely on their star players to make plays.
Yeah.
When your star players go down, you don't have anybody to actually make the plays for you. And we watched a few of those games too because they were prime time games. And it's like Lamar had to do something at the end miraculous to help the
Spectacular.
team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the defense wasn't holding up because they ain't had the corners to do it. And without the running backs, without Dobbins and Edwards, no one didn't fear Latavius Murray and Devontae Freeman and
Mm-hmm.
those guys. And then
No one really feared the
you
receivers. The only person
you
you
were
feared
getting
was
the
Andrews.
inconsistencies from the
Right.
receivers outside of Mark Andrews. So
Exactly.
I mean, let's hope that they can. Well, the hope is for everyone to come back healthy and they could build and go back to competing next year, which I'm sure they will. And they still got Jim Harbour. Not Jim Harbour, John Harbour.
John Harbaugh, yes.
John Howell.
Yeah, they still got John Harbour, which is a tremendous coach in my opinion. So it's still a veteran team. They need to get younger in some areas, but it's still a veteran team that can do well. So I mean, they, as I would say, they're in a lot better position than a lot more teams.
A lot of teams.
It's not like they're in thing. It's just that they're playing in a hell of a division.
I think,
They have their quarterback.
yeah, I mean, they got a couple players they need to replace probably, and then they could after that they could probably draft for depth.
Yeah, they definitely need
Mhm.
safety. They definitely need some safety help.
Hmm.
Well, they're gonna
Safety
need
help,
line help too.
cornerback help, and offensive line help.
Yeah, they're
Because
gonna
right
need
now, their needs are offensive tackle, defensive tackle, cornerback, guard, and safety.
right. Cause they're gonna have to hope that Ronald Stanley come back healthy, and then they don't have a right tackle. The center's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
The guard play, by the looks of it, wasn't strong either.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at those stuff, and then, like you say, Connors, Peters, uh, injury that he suffered. No, at
Yeah,
this
you
age,
hear
he
that
ain't gonna come
ACL,
back strong.
right?
You gotta hope for Humphries to come back
You
strong.
hear the pectoral,
You need to get some safety help. So let's and then on offense, you're hoping that the running backs come back strong. You're hoping that someone emerges as a top receiver. I mean, Hollywood Brown is the deep threat. They're hoping that Bateman turn out to be the pick that they saw, the potential that they picked him with. If he can stay healthy, and you still got Mark Andrews that dominates the middle of the field. I think the question for Baltimore is, can Lamar take that next step in the passing game? Because he gonna have to make the throws with the
right?
hands.
And all the time at 10.
And like I said, we were watching some games and he missed some bad throws there with people wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were watching one game and Hollywood was open, was a three straight routes, and two of them he threw them to him, and the third one he missed the target, but huge had Hollywood there cussing. So
So he
can
got
he
so
take that step
right.
there?
So he got actually working his mechanics, working his mechanics. 'Cause that's what they be a lot.
I like that he got Greg Roman as his
Very
offensive
great move, yeah.
coordinator. And they work good, but I mean they gonna have to. They at some point they gotta know that he can't just keep running and bailing them out.
Right.
You have to do it with the hands, and can he evolve as a passer? Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, but I'll never count out the Ravens because of the coaching
As of
staff and
Lamar
the
and
veterans and
Harbaugh, yeah.
Lamar, like you
Mm-hmm.
see. So they're not in as a bad situation as they're not in a bad situation. They just need to retool a bit, and then they'll be back to normal. We're hoping that so let's see if they can keep up with the Bengals, guys. That's the Bengals right now is
And that's it. The Bengals got
the
50 million
team.
cap. So
Exactly.
they
They got to see
send
if they can hold up.
they send a few defensive starters and that's it.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what happens. All right. So we just covered the Bengals.
Ravens.
The
Oh,
Ravens.
I mean the Ravens. Sorry, we just covered the Ravens. Shane, I'll go through. I'll deal with these dotted boards here. All right. So you got the Falcons, my division 4. Right. Depending on who you ask, they would say that they underachieved or it was expected that record. Based on how it was, the starting of the season, we thought they were going on 17.
Right. They overachieved.
They were very bad. And then they picked up some steam later in the season. They were in playoff contention until about the last 2 weeks when they lost the game and everything. But I think they went what? Either 7 and 8 and 9? I think they went 8 and 9. Well, the Falcons it's not a tricky situation. It's a situation that you know what's coming, but you're gonna have to tough it out for I think one more year, and that starts with Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan has a cap hit of 48 million,
Can't give it up, England.
Wow, wow.
which is 23% of the total cap.
You can't get
If
rid
you
of him.
do cut him or release him, the dead cap is 40 million.
That don't make no sense.
So I think what's his name? Arthur Smith already told head office that I'm rolling with Matt Ryan
Okay, he ain't got no
next year.
choice. He got no choice.
But he coached Tannehill. The closest thing for him is
Not right.
Matt Ryan, a proven veteran that can maneuver the offense. I think I don't want to say it was unfair to Arthur Smith this year, but when Ridley don't play most of the game and everyone double teaming
Kyle
Pitts
Pitts,
and
yeah.
your running game is non-existent, you really can't do nothing. Let's give him an off season and the Bill see we can upgrade the skill position players and get second year under the belt in the offense and see what could really happen. But he wasn't. I don't want to say I don't put no blame on Arthur Smith in terms of anything in terms of the team. He did what he could do, and at 8 and 9, that was a good thing, considering the circumstances that went on. We got Matt Ryan, that's I just talked about. Another big cap hit is Big Baby graded at 23 million. But if they cut or release him, it's only a 7 million dead cap. We have Jake Matthews at 23 million cap hit. That's the left tackle. 19 million dead cap. Deion Jones at 20 million. I think he probably just signed
Yeah, he
not too
probably
long
did.
ago. And that's a 24 dead cap. Calvin Ridley, 11 million cap hit with a 11 million dead cap.
So
But I think that's his
That's his rookie,
when you
rookie
get the
contract,
fifth year
right?
option, the fifth year
Fifth year up,
option,
right.
that's his fifth year option thing. So that's why it's a full guaranteed. The fifth year option is a automatic. The same thing like Sam Donald. Donald get 18 million. It's a fully guaranteed thing. So Calvin Ridley is a fully guaranteed 11 million. That's what the dead cap is so high. And outside of those, you got some younger one, Tyler Davison, 5 million. That can easily be replaced. Lindstrom, 4 million. He's not going anywhere. I think Mike Davis, they're gonna release the save, 3 million, and the others are just small. Looking at their free agents, it's the first one jumps out is Cardell Patterson.
that's big because they use him a lot.
Yeah, he was a big help
Yeah, he was pretty
in that
good.
run game.
Um, so that's actually a really good one. I'll get back to the thing because I got some difficulties. But looking at something else I was saying, they're capped. Now the issue with them is they're in the red.
So
They're
they got
7 million over the cap.
so they gotta come up.
Yep, they're
Somebody got
7 million over the cap.
So somebody got to cut.
somebody gotta go.
Somebody has to
Somebody
get cut.
got to go,
Right.
and it's gonna be very hard in terms of they're gonna have to do some restructuring. I mean, you can restructure Matt Wayne contract or a certain thing to save some cap. I think Big Baby is 29 years old. They're gonna restructure that. Jake Matthews restructure that. Deion Jones restructure that. Outside of that, not much more restructure to do. They also they have a total existing dead money 20 million. 10 million of that's from Julio Jones,
Hmm.
and he's not on the team. So that's another thing when you look at their free agents. I got it up now. Free agents, you got Duran Harmon, which they don't have to bring him back. Foyesade Olukon, the linebacker at 27 years old, probably. Sean Williams, 31. No. Eric Harris, the safety, 32 years old. No.
No, I don't bring him
Fabian
back.
Moreau, 28 years old. He was okay. Isaiah Oliver, another cornerback, 24 years old. Probably they would probably try to resign him. Russell Gage was okay for them. He's a good complementary piece. They're 26 years old. They'll try to get him back. Hayden Horse, tight end, 29 years old. That's you can bring him back to play behind Pitts. Let's see what happens. Tajay Sharp, he was there later. Carterell Patterson, I said Jonathan Bullard is a defensive end. He got signed later. I'm not seeing any more big names worth talking about. So they have some stuff that they gotta figure out on that team. They don't have the money to play. Now that's the problem. When you don't have the money to play around with, then you're in trouble. And then going back to what we were talking about in terms of the stats, their total yards a game, Atlanta was ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 25th in total yards. Passing yards, they were ranked Atlanta, probably
They'll
middle
be
of
at
the group.
on the bottom.
They were, I think, middle of the group. The
They
Atlanta, you
were
got
they average 18.4 points a game.
15. 15 from the bottom is how much? It's like 17. I started two teams. So about 17 they were in passing yards per game. Don't get me started rushing yards. They didn't run the ball at all. Well,
Patterson run the ball.
As a
Patterson run the
runner,
ball,
ball.
but let me see how much they got. Atlanta, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the bottom. So that's about 25th or 26.
26.
So yeah, so that wasn't good in terms of rushing. Points overall, points per game on offense. But they,
18.4.
yeah, well, let me see where they rank compared to other persons.
I gotta be at 32. If other than the Jaguars.
Oh crap! Oh, looking at that was defense or talking about. Defense, they were giving up 27 yards.
27 points. 27
Yeah, 27 points a game, which was
again, man.
fourth worst.
Yeah,
Fourth worst. So this was our defense I was going about. So the Russian defense wasn't good. The passing defense was
it
middle of the
was good.
pack.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go head over to the offense now to see what's going on. Offense, was
Probably 28.
Atlanta was 28 in total offense.
Yeah,
Passing yards a game,
probably like 20.
they were
And
right in
I
the
was
middle of
like,
the pack here, 20.
yeah,
Rushing offense, they were. Let me see where rushing is. Let me look to the bottom. Yep, 31st in rushing
mm-hmm.
and points per game and offensive points per game. They were offensive points per game. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom. So offense needs to change. Defense they got pieces. That's the thing. On defense, you got AJ
That is
Terrell, which I think he was a Pro Bowler this year.
mm-hmm.
AJ
He was all
Terrell was
about too.
good. So you got him. I think they got another cornerback that's coming up. They drafted Richard Grant, the safety. Then you got Deion Jones, of course. We know Deion Jones, the linebacker. You got Big Baby Grady. You got Marlon Davidson from Auburn. I think the big thing with them was I think they were ranked either last or second to last in sacks. They could
Yeah,
generate no pressure.
general
They
no
couldn't
pressure.
generate no pressure. And then they just released one of their best defensive ends, Dante Fowler.
Dante
Dante
Fowler.
Fowler.
Yep.
He's been a huge disappointment. He wasn't he like I think the number 3 overall pick or the number 6 or something like that.
Yep, with
Pin
the
number 3.
Jaguars.
Pin number
You're
3.
right.
Number
And
3.
the Jaguars saw that he was bust potential, got rid of him. They took a flyer on him, and it hasn't worked out. They released when you get released right after the Super Bowl, you know that he ain't work out. As
Mm-hmm.
they ain't able to wait on you. So he was he didn't last too long either. But they're gonna have to beef up the edge rushers to generate pressure. They're gonna have to do that. That's one of their big needs, defensive end, as they're good in the middle in terms of the line. They're gonna have to boost up the ends. They're gonna have to get some safety help in terms of the offense. The main thing is what do we do with Calvin Ridley? I don't know if Calvin Ridley is gonna come back. I honestly don't. From what I've been reading, they said that Atlanta is actually a dark horse for taking a quarterback in the draft because you got nobody behind Matt Ryan to groom. We know this is Matt Ryan last year coming up because you can't get
Yeah,
rid of him. So this is his last year, no doubt about it. But who's taking over the reins?
true.
So I've heard that Matt Ryan, I've heard that don't underestimate Atlanta taking a quarterback with their pick, or they can actually go wide receiver and pair somebody up with Pitts, and they need a running back. They need a starting level running
True.
back, and so I mean you need skill. Then to put it in perspective, they need skill position players. That's it. They need skill position players on the offensive side of the ball, and you need to start looking at who's going to replace Matt Ryan. On the defensive side, you need to boost the back end, which is your safeties, and you need to generate pressure. If you can't generate pressure, your cornerbacks and safeties get more than the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
So Atlanta 8-9. I think they're gonna give it one more good run with Matt Ryan. This is his last hurrah, and then
We'll see how.
that's gonna be the end of the ice.
The damn schedule I come up here ain't gonna play on no favorites.
Again, he got the NFC West and the AFC North.
Right, that's a
So
tough.
we gonna have to see if the ice melt before the season end. Cause I don't know. But like I said, considering what they deal with, they were in the playoff hunt up to like the last week. I think they lost to the Saints. When they lose to the Saints, they got eliminated.
Yeah.
So they were pushing to get it. But I mean, they're stuck in the middle of mediocrity, right? Not well, yeah, just in the middle right now. They're not rebuilding per se, and they're not going for a championship. You're in the middle. You got to pick one. I think after Matt Ryan leaves next year, they're gonna actually see let's blow it up and think you got foundational piece in Pitts, the unicorn, as them call him. You're gonna have to get a some two skill position players. You're gonna have to get a running back, and you're gonna have to get somebody that generates pressure off the edge consistently. They got none. Big baby can't do it by himself. So let's see what happens with this daughter boards coming up in the off season. With 7 million over the cap, somewhere the money gotta come from. Somewhere I call the man Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is the coach or the owner. Which one is what the owner name is? He Arthur Smith too? Arthur Blanks.
Other blank.
Blank Smith,
Other
everything.
blank, other Smith.
They're gonna have to find the blank Arthur Blank.
Yeah,
I have
find
to
some
find a
money.
bank to get some money there for the Falcons.
Yeah.
Got the Falcons 7 million over the cap. The ice can't keep taking up all the money. So we gotta see what happened there with Matt Ryan and see how them shed some cap. All right, Shane, you go with the Cardinals now.
Sell the team.
We tell you no bias in this, you know.
I'm biased. Okay, so yeah, 20 million. Right, before we get into that, their season had to be a disappointing season. Or the way the season end, right? They started off the season the best team in NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think at the halfway mark, they were 10-2. Was it? Leading the NFC West?
10 and
Leading
2.
the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
They finished the season 11-6. That's nasty. And then get in the playoffs and stink up the joint. That's horrible. I wait to see the backlash on that. But their offseason gonna be busy because they have 27 free agents. Then they got 20 million in cap. DeAndre Hopkins only taking up 10% of that. And he's the highest paid. 11% of the total cap. But nobody else is over the 10%. So they got good contracts within the players, but they have a lot of players to resign. One of the key players that they on the free agency is Chandler Jones.
Chandler. And he's also getting up there in age too.
He get up there in age too.
Yeah, but he's still producing. So I had 10.5 sacks.
The issue with him is he's gonna ask for a 3-4 year deal worth 15, 18 million a year. Are you going to do it?
20 million projecting a year.
Exactly.
Wow.
And he gonna want about 3 years.
So that ain't gonna happen. He got. They got Zach Ertz. I don't think they're saying back Zach Ertz.
I know. I actually heard him say that he wants to come back.
He wants to come back.
Yeah.
If he want to come back, he have to take a team friendly contract.
What's his market value?
Market value is
Like 8 mil. 8 to 10 mil.
But these sites moving slow.
Yeah, but I had issues with my site too, so I can't have a head value. My site was going slow. His market value for Titan probably 68 million. 68.
Yeah, something like that.
He's not number one no more.
Yeah, he's not number one no more.
He's a good complemented piece. So about 68 million would be good value for him. It's not bad.
7.6 million.
Okay,
Right.
see, 68 right in the middle. So, yeah, I mean, they can give him an incentive type thing, or with the cap,
Well,
like it's about 4. and
What you
then
saying
3
for
million thing.
another year? Another year
2
contract?
years or 2 year contract that you front load the cap, and then you could release him after the year without any dead cap if you want.
Right.
Because the main thing for them, like you say, is they don't have a quarterback signed like to a big thing.
Mm-mm.
Kyler still on his rookie contract.
Sure.
Well, this gonna be he fifth year, fourth year.
When he come out, why I can't remember.
It's gonna be his
He come
fourth
out.
year.
He come out after Josh Rosen. So
Yeah, this gonna be his fourth
If
year.
this is 4th year, it's still good. Is that 5th year when I'm kicking that option? That 5th
Right.
year for number one pick gonna go about 28 million guaranteed,
Right.
something like that.
yeah.
Right. Then you got AJ Green. He gone.
Yeah.
Max Williams. I don't know.
It
I
was,
mean,
they may sign him back to be a good blocking because he's a good blocking and thing.
and then it depends on what they do with Zach Ertz too, right?
Right.
Other big name, James Conner. That's a must come. That's a must
You,
come back.
you got to bring him back here.
Actually, he and Chase Edmonds free
Chase
agents.
Edmonds, yeah.
Christian Kirk.
It's debatable.
Yeah. Colt McCoy. Colt fucking McCoy.
He was a good backup. He was a decent
I
backup.
think love him there.
Yeah.
Murray. Murray is the one that votes for him to come there.
Yeah.
So
Let me see. Corey Peters. Alford is a cornerback. He gone.
he's older, yeah. He should be older.
Them losing them kicker and them punter. And the league old, because he's a punter from
And
the way
Lee
back.
Ole, and Lee Ole.
Zane Gonzalez. He's a free agent.
No, Zane Gonzalez, he on them. He on the Panthers.
The guy here on the list, Zane Gonzalez. Z-A-N-E Gonzalez, the kicker.
That ain't make no sense. He kicked for the Panthers. He on the Panthers. He wasn't kicker. He wasn't kicker 2 years ago.
Chase Edmonds, you see. He's a running back.
Edmonds,
So the
he
two,
got-
two running backs on
Two running backs. They gonna have to make a decision on one.
yeah.
Bring back James Conner.
I would
I
imagine
think
it's
so
kind of too.
I think so
mean,
too.
we
You
say
could
it's
find
two,
you could find one of them change up his backs in the draft
Right,
easily.
exactly.
right. So them is the big names. But that's a
What
lot
the
of
cap, what the cap space is?
20.
20 million cap.
Yeah, 20.3.
Few
Yeah, some cap
restructures.
space,
A few
some cap space,
restructures they could think.
What
What
about
JJ
the,
Watt's still on a contract?
Yeah, JJ was still on a
so,
contract.
They're gonna restructure JJ Watt by far.
And
They're gonna
DeAndre
restructure
Hopkins
him.
too. He probably got a big cap hit.
He will restructure.
Oh,
DeAndre Hopkins.
25 mil.
Yeah.
Right, they could restructure that.
Restructure that.
Again, looking at the Cardinals, go ahead, G.
Yeah, the needs is defensive tackle, defensive end, cornerback, right guard, wide receiver.
I mean, them got the fella. He hit you the
Zach Allen.
They got a fella. They don't need nobody with the fella there. That's a bad man.
Me personally, like I say, GM for the day, I going after wide receiver. Because the way how that team imploded to me was unacceptable, and the reason why that team imploded was because DeAndre Hopkins went down.
Offensive line in a need for that team?
No, just a
No,
right guard.
they were actually good on their line, you know.
Yeah, just a right guard.
The problem was when Hopkins went out, they started running the blitzes,
Yeah.
and nobody could get open. But they were good force when they had the balance.
I mean, we still got to respect the team with 10 and fucking 2.
Exactly.
Yeah,
When Hopkins was there, they had balance. The line was holding up. All of a sudden, nobody care if AJ Green go one-on-one.
That's true.
And they started to run some blitz there for Kyler Murray not to run out of the pocket, and that was it.
Kill him. You had no fear. You had no fear of the receivers.
Yeah. To be honest, I think they need, like you say, Shane, in terms of the receiver, you know Hopkins could be the possession receiver. Cause he don't burn nobody down the field like before, and he coming off
You need that speed stuff.
I just saying I don't want to say because I actually agree with KJ. I ain't just saying it because he on the Carolina. I would have traded for Robert Anderson to take the top off.
Agreed.
I would have taken the top off with Robert Anderson and have Hopkins run the intermediate routes by far.
Agreed.
And you still got Rondale Moore to do the gadget plays.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got Robert Anderson taking the top off and Hopkins cutting in, you got a good little 1-2 punch there. And like I said, I ain't just saying because he on the Panthers, But it makes a lot of sense because Hopkins ain't running past nobody no more.
Yeah, right now
He,
he running past
but,
nobody.
but he will
Because
get open.
you need that
He will
speed
get,
stuff.
and he will out jump you and catch the ball.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So he da catch it, but he ain't running past here. But he da get open because he is a road technician.
Right, but
No,
if you
you
get that
get
speed stuff,
right.
he gonna put fear in that safety.
You get
That
a Robert
safety gonna think
Anderson
about
that you know Robert
right.
Anderson gonna burn you down the field.
That safety, he gonna play in the box. He gonna
Exactly.
play deep.
So you gotta pick your poison. Try to jump the underneath road on Hopkins, or risk your cornerback getting smoked by Robert Anderson.
And you know,
You have a chance.
Kyler could throw that ball deep. So I
Well,
mean,
as Shane said, he'd just sling it off you back foot full speed down the field.
I
So
try,
it's
I try not to be biased.
so
I try
so
not to be biased.
again, looking at it, you get that kind of Robert Anderson S type receiver to go
Type
with
receiver,
Hopkins. You assign like a odds to run the middle. You
right.
don't need to do much. He's a good receiver still.
Position, right.
You got something. You got James Conner back. You got something. But like you guys say, when Hopkins went down, nobody could have do anything. We
Again,
didn't fear AJ.
nah, nobody gonna fear fucking easy.
We didn't fear Christian Court. Randall Moore just doing jet sweeps. That can't get you far.
Yeah.
That was it. Isabella, he the play still? I don't even know
I
he
was
the
just
play
going to
still.
say, is it better than Bella out? That damn guy, I don't see him no more. He and Bella out
Exactly.
that team. Wide receiver, like I said, my big. Either you trade for wide receiver or you draft you a good
Oh,
wide
draft.
receiver.
Yeah, one of
Right?
them can do.
My next push would be Chandler Jones gonna have to leave. You have to go and find your defensive edge, and you have to get your pass rusher.
I think they got a great. I think they got a great value pick, a value signing with Marcus Golden. He was signed to a 1 year deal,
I
and he
think
had
he
about
was.
9 sacks.
I think he was in a conversation I was reading today too.
Yeah, he had about 9 sacks. He was coming off the edge for them. He filled in very nice when JJ Watt went down.
Yeah. To me, I would give it a JJ Watt. You know,
True,
he
but you
ain't.
see,
He can't stand the
I
field. He can't
my
stand
thing
the
is, if they're gonna have to restructure the contract and then tell JJ Watt, take a pay cut to stay because they still want to win now. The team is they gotta go all in to win now. Or else, like we've been talking, that's it for Kingsbury and them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they're gonna still keep JJ Watt because his veteran leadership and when he on the field, what he can bring. I think that's the reason they're gonna be urgent to bring Chandler Jones back too.
Yep.
Because you got Chandler Jones, you think you're going for one more run at it, and then we'll see what happens. But I
But
think they may bring,
if you bring back Chandler Jones, you're gonna send him to you're gonna have to send him to a 1 year deal unless you don't
and he ain't
commit
gonna
to him
want
long
that.
term. Exactly.
No. And if you sign for a 1 year deal, he can kill you.
So
And I don't know if they're gonna want to use the salary, not salary, the franchise tag on Chandler Jones. Because the defensive end franchise tag is about 19 million.
The man got Collins.
Zach Collins.
Yeah.
it's
They're,
like,
they're, they're talking about him just to do
They
us.
ain't got some bad. They got good people in them.
Yeah,
Golden is
no,
good. Yeah, Golden is
they got,
good. Zach Allen, he's good. Zach Collins is good.
right.
yeah.
The
They got,
line, you got Isaiah Simmons, you got Buda Baker, you got Byron Murphy.
John Hicks a free agent, he's still there.
he's
I
still
don't know.
there, but them counting them Johnny Hicks and Devon Kennard counting for 10 million against the cap next
So
season.
they're gonna release somebody.
You're gonna release
Somebody-
him.
I remember. I think they drafted a linebacker and was telling Hicks that he could either take a pay cut or find a trade.
Yeah,
Them
exactly.
They had
guys,
draft.
them guys Xavier Collins
D.
and,
Yeah.
and Isaiah Simmons. Is the
Yeah.
two
Right,
rookies.
Xavier Collins was the rookie,
Yeah.
and then they end up keeping Hicks. But when they drafted Xavier and they told Hicks to go and find a trade, he's free to find a trade partner, but nothing materialized. So, well, again, you got Simmons, you got Buda Baker, you got Byron Murphy. That's 3 Pro Bowlers there, 3 Pro players there. You get another depth corner back to help. You
Right.
build, you make sure you keep your core down there, build a line on the defensive side. You're good there. But again, like you guys say, you gotta help Kyler out on the offensive side with some good little skill players. You can't just have him, as Shane would say, just throwing it off your back foot full speed. You can't. And that may also mean too that Kingsbury gonna have to change up the way he plays. He gonna have to because
That
you
boy,
can't just stay there and try to do the same plays where you had that you hoping that Hopkins gonna catch it when Hopkins in there. They
you need
had
to,
they didn't know proper plays to help him.
you need to listen to Kingsbury. That area gonna kill Kingsbury. I mean, he believed in that area so bad because
But
he believed
you
that.
need a skill position players to do that area.
Exactly.
That's the thing, and I think them expose that. I guarantee the first game them man play again. I don't care who them play against, coming up blitzing off the edges. Them blitzing. Them are blitz.
Yeah, because the worst thing you could do is show people film while I was walking against you.
You see how Calamari had the
Tyler,
last games when he was under pressure? Tyler
hmm
started throwing picks like he like I swear to God, when the Andrew Hopkins was out there, he wasn't seeing nobody else on that field.
but we don't always say, three of us that always say, if you keep Kyler in the pocket, he will make mistake because again, one he shot,
Can't see.
he
Right.
can't see,
Can't see.
and two, his first movement when he drop back is usually to go to a side to throw.
Tack out the
When you
top.
step into the pocket, that's not his comfort zone. That's why I don't understand where people rush Kyler Murray. Why would you lose contain off the edge for him to run out this way? You
Right.
gotta bring it
Right.
in so he could
Inside
step
there.
up.
Step up in the pocket.
Exactly.
I spray my defensive line. I ain't want soul run up the middle. Not one.
Wide 9.
Yep. Boy.
Yeah. Crash the outside so he can't run out. And then you force him to play that type of quarterback thing.
I stunting it. I have my defensive end come off the edge, and the defensive tackle gonna roll around the defensive end come off the corner. I ain't having nobody going up the middle. He got to beat me up the middle.
Yeah, I think the play call they gonna have to help Kyler a little bit better.
That's why.
And
That's
like-
why I think that going into the next season, they may have what he know, but Kingsbury had that seat.
Yeah,
But who's
that's-
his offensive? Who's his offensive coordinator?
It don't
He don't
matter.
have
He
one.
that call the plays. He
He
don't
the
have one.
call
He
the plays.
that call the plays. I mean, he have one because you have to have one, but he that
Right.
call the plays.
I don't even know if they got one.
They have to.
No, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Well, are you sure you don't got to fill that position?
He could have a senior offensive assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. Nobody else don't trouble. When Kyler Murray come out, he don't go sit down with Kyler Murray. He don't even think.
But
He
that's
don't go study the defense.
See, that's the thing. You as a head coach, you're the CEO of the team. You gotta manage the game.
you got
You
to
They got one?
see what's going on
They
in
got
the
one
game.
shade.
I look in.
I
Sean.
can't remember.
Sean Kugler.
He's an offensive coordinator.
I know. I
Who
check
he
it
is?
out. Do the Cardinals have an offensive coordinator? Since Kingsbury is the offensive play caller, the Cardinals do not have an offensive.
Exactly. I know. 'Cause I know they ain't had none. They got a run game coordinator and a passing game coordinator. That's it.
That
Sean Kugler, like you said, she is the run game coordinator and
Yeah.
the offensive line coach. That's it. They don't have the offensive coordinator. Kingsbury runs the offense. Look, whenever you see Kyler Murray come off the field, Kingsbury will go sit down there like the offensive
Right.
coordinator to do, and have
that's what McVay
Vance
had to do
Joseph
the
take.
first year when he had
Right.
him as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but
Wade
that's
Phillips.
Wade Phillips. Wade Phillips is a veteran
Defense, yeah, right.
defensive.
I
Yeah.
think he got confidence in Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph was a head coach too.
Yeah, true.
He's a veteran.
Yeah, but he evolved more into head coaching role. He does time. He to watch the whole game. Before he used to go on, let's say just like how Kingsbury do, he used to go on the sideline with Goff. He used to never watch the defensive way. He used to control the whole
Yeah,
game.
he used to do it. But you see, no, McVay actually give up. McVay to call the plays, but Kevin O'Connell used to set the game plan.
Yeah.
So he would set the game plan, and then he could go sit down with Stafford and Goff and
Right.
them, and while McVay still concentrate on the game. With Kingsbury, he'd go sit down there like he'd acquire and forget that they got a defense out there.
Exactly.
You gotta get it.
And you as a head
If
coach,
it
you
start
have to
out
be CEO
bad,
of the game.
if the first 4 weeks start out bad, he gonna relinquish the play calling duties. Watch
You have to.
He got to, or is he outside
Yeah.
You have
before the
to.
season? I'm afraid mid-season.
That's why I like Sirianni, because Sirianni realized that he can't call plays and try to look at the game at the same time.
Mhm.
I think if them don't come out with the same fire them come out with this season, That team in problems.
Well, they've got 4 scrub teams in the NFC South to beat. So they got that 4-0 for them. Let's hope them could win them 4. If they can't win them 4, that's it.
Who they gotta play?
They play in the NFC South.
The
And who
South
else?
I don't
in
know which
the West.
AFC. I
AFC
don't
West.
know.
The West.
In the AFC West? AFC West gonna be tough.
So
We'll
look,
see.
if you look, no. So Shane, who you played this year in Madden?
This year?
You didn't play the West.
No.
Whoever you play this year in Madden is who are you playing next year?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because the schedule, I don't have my schedule for next year in real life, you know. And we play in the West.
I play the AFC not in this last Madden here. That's what we playing. The entire AFC not.
Ain't line up like that for me though. Because I can show you where my opponents for this year. You know we playing the AFC West because I playing the Raiders. As the Raiders, Dumba, and you, I got line up to bet. My
Yeah, they gotta play
opponents,
play the AFC. They have to play the AFC West.
yeah. So Madden off probably by something.
I realize you didn't play a thing this year. Yeah, I played Chunky this year.
I played Sugar this year? I don't remember. No, I
Yeah, you play Sean Gay?
Yes, man. I think you played Chunky.
I have a check. I do so. I don't remember playing Sugar.
I swear to God, you play. I think so.
I can't remember. I don't remember playing Sugar. So we paid too much attention to it. I don't remember.
Probably. Anyways, so you got to play the AFC West and the NFC South.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, judging by the stats, total yards they were ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They were 8 in the league in total yards. Passing yard, this is all on offense. Passing yards, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They were 10th in passing yards. And rushing yards, they were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th in rushing yards. So they had a high powered offense at one point.
They were the number 1 team in the NFL for 10 weeks.
Points per game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th.
On offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, they average 26.4 points a game.
Let's take a look on the defensive side. Defensive total yards. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in total yards. Defensive passing yards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Defensive rushing yards, they were about 20th. And defensive points per game, they were defensive points per game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th. So it wasn't like they were terrible. It's just remember what we used to say. It depends on when you click.
Yeah.
They click at the start of the season, and then
fall off at the end of the season.
Couldn't get that click at the end of the season.
Here comes my biasness.
Both style.
Yeah, the
Both style.
It's a 1-player team.
And I can't disagree with that.
We could go back in our spare time anytime. Just go and watch Arizona Cardinals highlights for the first 10 weeks when they were 10-2. The players that Omega was the bombs off the back foot, not looking down the field to DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins making these. Yes, he was open, but I swear to God, Kellen Murray never look at him. Kellen Murray just know that that's what he's supposed to be, and I gonna bomb it down that way. When I get in trouble, I gonna bomb it down that way. When DeAndre Hopkins went out of the game, and Kellen Murray get in trouble, there was nobody that he could bomb the ball on to. And to me, that's a piss me off, Casey. It's a piss me off because I know that you ain't doing nothing. Now you just throwing the ball up down the field.
Right.
It look like a Madden game. You know what I'm saying? It's like really. And but that's how they were winning. That's how they were winning, man. You got DeAndre Hopkins on the catching balls over 3-man head, down the field. Kellen Murray scrambling out of the pocket, turn around. Remember I tell you when Kellen Murray run out of the pocket, the first thing he do is run backwards.
Run backwards,
and then he turn around.
Right.
And when he turned around, you know he got DeAndre Hopkins.
Happens there.
So all of that used to kill me, man. So it's like you went from 10-2. That's 12 weeks in the season. So you only got 5 more games left. And you lose them you lose 4 to the
But
5.
that's not them because I don't know why they thought that AJ Green actually would have been a solid number 2. But I know AJ Green is no solid number 2. AJ Green probably a number 3, number 4 at best.
But then again, that showed me that Kingsbury really hard headed too with this air raid defense. Like you lose the job.
Right.
You have Zach Ortstay. You have James Kennedy.
Right. You
have
got
you got Moore. You got Christian Cork.
You got Christian Cork. Find scheme up something, some quick passes, some slants.
Every defense that you faced was blitzing you. Start to do some dump offs.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray's a running quarterback. Some play actions, some
bootlegs, some.
All the defense started to do is pin their ears back and blitz. And Kyler Murray just dissolved under it. You know what I'm saying? Because he had again going back to the point. He can't see over the damn centers and the guards. So he have to run outside the pocket. When he run outside the pocket, he runs straight into the blitz. And then he trying not to take the sack, so he's throwing the ball right into the other in the line.
He can have to learn to walk inside the pocket and find the open space to throw that ball into that pocket. That's the only way. That's the only way. Because it ain't gonna be like that forever with you trying to escape the pocket and trying to bootlegs and stuff like that, whatever. At some point, you're going to have to learn, find your strength inside that pocket and walk your way inside that pocket, find the open gaps and stuff like that. Find a way to make it work.
And he don't have the skill position players too.
Right.
Throw the ball and do like yards after catch. He don't have those type of players.
So,
Rondale Moore's the only one that could do it, but they ain't going to work all the time.
And he shot too.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He can only do gadget plays and them stuff. Them stuff ain't going to work for too long.
Like I said, right. I think that number one priority going into the draft should be wide receiver. Or free agency should be a wide receiver. Exceptional wide receiver.
Speedy wide receiver. They need a speedster, somebody with some speed. Somebody
and they got some good ones. To me, they actually got some good ones in the draft that they could target.
Yeah, they could get a young one. And that's the way I would go. I would probably go and get me a veteran defensive tackle, a veteran edge, and then try to draft me a right guard.
But then again, if a Jordan Davis from Georgia fall to you, you better take him.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis is a bull.
You always take best man available.
He fall to you better take him up full. Cause he lick down anybody up the middle.
You know what I'm saying? You take best man available, but on your draft board, that's how your draft board should look right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm surprised I don't know if they're making. I mean, you got 27 people you got to deal with. That's half the damn football team.
Remember, I think this year going to be a lot more time consuming because with the cap being 182 million last year, you had to deal with a lot of smaller deals.
Yeah.
With the cap going back up to 209 million this year, they got to have team only them. If you go around the board, a lot of teams got close to 20, 22 people free agents because you had to sign so much people last year on short-term deals. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of people out there on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't actually be rash to go and try to sign back 1 million players when the market, some players gonna have to take the short end of the stick this year again in the draft, in the free agency. Because you got about 8-9 teams that are over in the red.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to got to cut some players that they probably might not want to. So some people going to have to take the short end of the stick. Mm-hmm. And what's your pitch? Like the Cardinals, the 49ers, their pitch to a free agent is, we ready to win now. You join us or not?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the perfect team would be like the Bengals. We ready to win now and we can give them money. Every team that could do it. Something like the Cardinals that under the cap and 49ers, then we would say, hey, you want a ring or not? We ready to win. So they can get some good value players, but it's who gonna take it. But the money is, it ain't really got no money to spend like that with a lot of these free agents coming out. Cardinals will have to be selective on who they try to bring back. And then, like you say, target, like a receiver. I would target the receiver in the draft because receiver deals are just easier to do in the draft. I ain't gonna sign nobody thing. And like you say, get a veteran defensive tackle and just fill up the
Yeah,
lane.
see if you can trade for Fletcher Cox.
You could do that if
See
it
if you
if
can
it sees fit. Yeah. Only
I'll be
thing is,
first a
I know
second
that
or
they
third
got,
round pick.
but they can't come under that cap hit that them got.
Now
They ain't
that
gonna
cap
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
So stuff
Again,
gonna have
I
to
think
change.
the league get younger. Get rid of JJ Watt. Lee Chandler Jones go. You already got them young guys. You already talking about your young guys that can step up in that spot. Step them guys up. JJ Watt ain't been on the field, ain't been on a full game, a full season in years. Get rid of him.
Right.
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? At some point in time, nah.
Got cut ties with his old players.
Yeah, man. Yes. Even though them here talking about Tom Brady might want to come find us, I'll take him. I'll take your old ass.
But the difference is Brady still were playing at the elite level. You each over 5,000 yards and what? 40 something touchdowns.
Yeah, you
Right.
gotta watch it. You gotta
mean,
watch what position and play when it comes to
yeah.
AJ.
Mm.
In quarterback,
But
you
yeah,
might get an older quarterback indeed, but
right.
not
I mean,
really.
them guys that, especially if you defensive end, you run in every play. You don't got a
He's,
motor for that.
he's
Yeah, your
smashing
name,
every play, boy.
your name is Beast, but everybody gonna fear you because they know if they leave you go, you're gonna get to the quarterback. But at some point in time, dude, you can't tell me you're gonna be able to run 60 minutes.
Mhm.
You're gonna be able to tell me you can't go every Sunday or Monday or Thursday. We gotta play a shot week, and they need you all day, and you talking about your leg cramping this and that. And I mean, this is the whole reason why he's fine and us getting rid of Garoppolo, right? The man record is what 35-14, and we getting rid of him. And because he can't play, it's because you can't depend on him to stay healthy. When he's healthy, he'll carry us to the playoffs deep. But you can't respect, he can't be healthy. That's the whole point that we draft you lads. Because like the Arizona Cardinals, if Jimmy go down, our whole fucking boat going bottom, like Titanic. It's been proven. The only thing saved the damn Cardinals is that they already were 10-2.
True.
You know? So, but I mean, they had a horrible end of season. 4 to 5 games. You could say 4 to 6 games because they lost their first playoff game. So you could say you finish the last couple of games in the season. You finished 4-6.
That was Kingsbury's first playoff game as a Cardinals head coach too, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they haven't made the playoffs since then. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was the first playoff game. So we'll see.
we'll see. So what we need? 3 more teams again for Saturday show.
Are we doing Saturday or are we doing Sunday show?
I think we should do Sunday show.
Sunday show. Okay.
Okay, we do Sunday. So the next 3: Buffalo, Chicago, and Cincinnati.
I want Buffalo.
Buffalo. I'll go with Chicago.
I'll go with Cincinnati.
I didn't KG play with Cincinnati.
Has the leaving talk for an hour about the quarterback.
Yeah, man, crush.
Even better.
Leaving talk for an hour about the quarterback. I could listen to you chat. So we
Even
got
better.
on deck Buffalo, Chicago, and Cincinnati. On Sunday, we won't do a show on Saturday. We'll do our normal show on Sunday, and those will be the next 3 teams.
And we'll
And
see if
then
anything pop off
anything pop
here
off.
in the next
Just
couple
a
of days.
few little news that seen say that Washington is ready to go all in on a big ticket quarterback. They won't limit
Wow.
themselves. They won't limit themselves in terms of a big ticket quarterback. You got Flores said that he turned down millions of dollars after the Dolphins firing. I guess they probably did that to silence
money.
him.
Hush
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he turned down millions of dollars because he said, if I took that, I guess I would have had to be silent. So he said he didn't take it because he didn't want to be silent.
Gotta give Mike Thomas a credit too for signing Brian Flores because I didn't think no other head coach would have taken that chance and
Nah,
signed
nobody would have
Flores.
taken it.
Right,
Nobody would have taken
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
Gotta give Tamlin credit.
and I mean Tamlin played it the right way.
Yeah,
You see what
exactly.
he said. His resume speaks for himself, for
Right.
itself. So it wasn't about a black quarterback. But then it's also ironic though that he landed up in the same organization that actually has the Rooney Rule.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the crazy thing about it. That's how news start. Imagine no one wants him in the NFL, but he end up in the same place that the Rooney Rule start. And
Mhm.
the only and one of the few black head coaches. So I mean, it's just weird, but I would be signing him to be not a head coach, but he can help my defense some way. He's a senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach.
Yep.
Good for you. So Flores said he didn't take the millions because he didn't want to be silenced. Washington is ready to go all in on a top tier quarterback,
If you're Washington, you trading for Russell Wilson.
ready to win.
You trade for Russell Wilson, might as well give up 2, 3 first round picks if you can.
There's another one that says that it's inevitable that Brandon Cooks, Laramie Tunsil, and Deshaun Watson will be traded during the offseason. There's going to be teams that want a Tunsil that need a left tackle.
You don't tackle it.
Brandon Cooks, he's not bad either. He performs every time we go. He just can't find a stable home. So he may get some attraction too. Any other news?
That could be another thing that I think we'll look at the Cardinals because he's also a speedster too.
Exactly. I'm checking to see if any other news. We had the news today with me and Shane were talking about it, the bubble for the
The
combine.
combine.
1 minute they were trying to do a bubble gear rules. Next minute bubble out the door.
Outside.
Got the players said, we ain't attending.
Yep.
Exactly.
Players the agency, we not attending. So you decide.
What the fuck you guys know with a bubble? This time of the corona, the
The
pandemic.
NFL, that's right. There's some nonsense. You know the NFL is. Want to play
You
Big Daddy.
you don't do a bubble during the first one. You're coming out with a bubble now.
You want to play Big Daddy. So players in now, we doing this. If you want to see us, we gonna do the what you call it?
Pro days.
Draft, pro days. So now the NFL change it.
Yeah.
Because man, that's big money, eh?
That big money, yeah.
That's big money.
The combine is money.
So NFL says shit. We gonna cave in.
Yeah, we ain't losing the money.
We losing that.
So I think that's all the rumors. That there was one rumor I saw from the Panthers that I just threw my phone down. It said Panthers reportedly called the Vikings about Kirk Cousins. I want him to do till Matt Rule could get fired faster. I mean, I don't understand. Kirk Cousins got $45 million cap hit. Which is he going to get Kirk Cousins? So
and still got Sam Darnold on contract.
well, the trade would have had to involve Sam Darnold going to Minnesota to offset a few of the cap. There's no other way to do it. If I ever see Kirk Cousins get traded to the Panthers and Darnold still there, something got to be wrong with the NFL. So that was just a rumor. That's a rumor. Robert Anderson tweeted that if they do trade him, he wants to go back to the Jets. He has unfinished business in the Jets. He ain't going back to the Jets because the Jets already got Corey Davis, Elijah Moore.
Yeah, too much.
He ain't going back. But like I say, there's teams that would love to have an over-the-top receiver to help them good intermediate receiver. Again, we just talked about going the Cardinals. The Cardinals can use one of them. So we'll see what happens with Robbie and the rest of the crew. But so far, nothing much on the Panthers yet. I think this week is usually going to be quiet, and then next week is the first week. They got another week in December.
Oh, next week is the first week of March.
So that week you're gonna see some storylines, and then the other week is actually the deadline for. So in 3 weeks we got a deadline for the franchise tag.
Yeah.
So we should see some more news from now until Sunday. I guarantee we'll see something that catches our eye from now until Sunday, and then Sunday we're gonna do Buffalo, Chicago, and Cincinnati.
All right then. So good show, good overviews, and we'll do it again on Sunday.
Definitely.
All right, peace out.
Yeah, peace out.
Peace.